It's been a little while, but we're back with another Iron Man build, and the last time we left off we did box 9, and now we're on to box 4 and boxes 10. For more explanation on that, better stay tuned. This is your Geek Fix. So, you might be wondering, what's the deal with going on to box 4 when the last box that we did was box 9? It doesn't make any sense, right? Why are we now doing box 4? And the answer is going back to, if you go back in the videos, you might have seen that box number 5 says box 5, why we skipped box 4. And the reason was that after a delay, I hadn't received box 4. They sent me box 5 and continue to send me boxes. So I had to contact them, said that I didn't receive it, and they were able to get this box to me. And then on the flip side, we also have box 10 that they sent me and sent me again. I can't remember what the situation was with that, but I think this also was a situation where I thought that they hadn't sent it to me, and I contacted them about it. I can't remember, but I think that it could also be the fact that they forgot to send a gift. So one of these actually contains something extra, but I'll get to that in a second. First off, with box 4, opening that up, I got more magazines here, and now we're on to volumes 11 through 14. Once again, we've done 15 already. And underneath that, we have more really large parts. This is explaining also why we didn't have some pieces that we needed later on to complete those arms. We really needed these pieces, and that's mostly what we're looking at. Some elbow pieces, some more arm pieces, and other pieces. I don't know what those are exactly. And then, over here, I have 2 box 10s, but they are pretty much identical with the exception of one thing. One thing that I think I will see, yep, as soon as I open the box. This hat, look at that. I got a hat, which I gotta say, as a Marvel and Iron Man fan, is pretty exciting to me. I don't want to mess up my hair, but there you go. It's basically what it would look like. This one, unlike the hat that they sent with the R2-D2, this one at least fits me a little better. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's a really nice hat. Look at that. Huh? Not too shabby. Anyway, I might wear it later. You remember they've already sent me a shirt, and because I've received so many boxes already, I've got actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes after these are done that I still have to open, but I know the things that are in those, and it's pretty exciting. I actually can't wait to bust those open, and believe me, you should look forward to seeing those boxes open. But I've got some other pieces that are totally unrelated, but look pretty similar. Ooh, I wonder what we're building on this one, actually. Some of these look like big leg pieces, which we haven't done anything with the legs yet. We've only been doing arms, and we did 1 foot so far. But yeah, I bet you that's what this is related to. Yep, sure enough. So this is volumes 35 through 38. And when you so when we look at volumes 11 through 14, mostly what it deals with are some discussions about which came first, talking about the duel with Ultron, gets into Carol Danvers, which also has some crossovers with X-Men, Captain Marvel, and the Armor Wars. Check out Captain America here. They also got more into the Stark brand and a lot of the equipment and things that he ends up developing. Also talking about Spider-Man and War Machine, who has his own series coming in. So, meanwhile, volumes 35 through 38 get into the Kang Dynasty and the original Avengers, Iron Man's anniversary of 400 issues. Something I gotta say about this too is that I've been afraid to go too much into too much detail on these magazines. Biggest reason is, I mean, really, reading through them, there's actually a lot of great information in here. I know that they're even working on encyclopedias that they're gonna be turning out, but I was surprised at how much information I didn't know, particularly related to some of the information that was kind of conflicting in the storyline. and how they try to resolve it, or how they resolved it also as kind of the times changed and things that are acceptable kind of changed. So honestly, I think it's worth reading, and having these volumes is kind of fun. Speaking of which, we're going to go ahead and start now with volume 11 for the next piece of our build, which looks like it's going to be the, let's see. Oh, these ball things. I was wondering about those. I think they're shoulder pieces. I'm not sure yet, but volume 11. Okay, that's 14. Not that one. Here we go. Volume 11. So, parts are very much packaged differently for Iron Man versus the R2-D2 unit. So, if you were wondering, honestly, I think R2's parts are a lot more difficult to get out. And also, oh shoot, I remember this. Those springs. Okay. We have done this part before. I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to put that over here. Got to keep track of these two springs here. Another thing I really like about the Iron Man set, and I think I've said it multiple times now, is that it doesn't give you things that you won't be using. Which is what R2's set does a lot of, is it gives you a lot of parts and then just has you hold on to those parts to eventually add them to something, and that includes all the screws and things. So I like the fact that I know I'm going to use all these screws in this build. I don't have to hold on to them for later, although I still have a lot of screws here. First thing that I seem to need to do is I need to bring back a part that we've already made. I think this is it right here. And so I'm going to be taking that part in this direction with this part sticking out first. And I'm going to be bringing this part over here. And it looks like I also need my screws at this point. So, oops, I should say the springs and the screws right here, which I don't have to bite to get open. Pour those out. There we go. And grabbing my screwdriver here. I also like that this is magnetized. It's a really nice magnetic one, but I saw something that came with this set that's going to be very interesting here in a few minutes. So I'm going to take these screws now, and it looks like I'm going to take, so there's two ends to these screws. One side is closed and one side is open. Whoa, there we go. Specifically, I want to screw it down to this little hole right here. So I'm going to bring this over here and screwing it down so that it's flat. Okay, and then, there goes my package. Okay, so I'm just going to screw that on down flat side of the spring right there. Ouch. Be careful about that open end. Once when you get both of these springs on there, and you want them on enough where they can still spin, but they're pretty screwed down. Then I'm going to take this part right here, moving my springs out of the way for a second. I'm going to bring it onto here like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that spring. It's funny because they actually show needle nose pliers here to be able to attach the spring. But like I said before, if it doesn't come with it, I'm going to try and do these things without whatever it doesn't come with. So I'm going to try and now put that spring on to that other end without the use of pliers. I'm just going to use my screwdriver here. Oh, there goes one, right like that. And then I bring this one over, and I'm going to stick it kind of onto, and just drag it over it until I get it. There we go. To stay on. And then I'm going to pull on this. It'll skip right back. So that's perfect. The picture and my part looks the same. And oh, there's still more to go. Oh yeah, these things. So that is where these things come in. That is what's hooking on top. So I will say, this is actually super clever. This might set apart this model from most of the other figures I have that are Iron Man figures, which is, it's always those shoulder pads that they will tend to go too high or too low, and in this case maybe the knee pad. And so making sure that it looks just about right is tricky. So the first thing I'm going to be putting on here is we're going to be taking these two sides, these two balls right here, and we're going to be connecting them together on each side of this. So let's see here. It is labeled in such a way, actually, where I can also tell the difference, but there we go. So if you see right here, I've kind of got that right there like that. I just snap it together like that. Same thing on this side. Oh, it has a different, oh, there you go, right there. So now we've got that ball, and then there's one more little piece. Oh, it's right here, this piece right here. I'm gonna be taking that now and doing what with it? I don't see anything I'm doing with it. It's just, I guess I just got to be aware that it's there. I don't know. Check on frame 11B can move upward and reach an yeah, I haven't done anything with that yet. And so it's a joint fastener, but we haven't fastened the joints yet. So moving on to the next volume, volume 12. We're going to get out our package for volume 12. This one also has some stickers in it. You'll remember from a while ago when we did the same thing for the other side. Those stickers are also kind of interesting. They act as a lubricant so help it keep friction low and keep it from scraping together that metal. And so I've got those. I've got some screws right there. But then, even more importantly, I have something new that's questionable, and that is a screwdriver that we're familiar with. This is the same screwdriver that I'm using right now for the R2-D2 build. So it looks like they give you that same screwdriver for working on this model. I don't know why. I think that they did have a problem with this one eventually wearing down, but honestly, I haven't had that issue yet. I have with my R2 one. So it's interesting. This does have a little bit more torque to it because the longer piece here, but still, that's coming up. Heavy metal pieces once again. And so what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be taking these pieces right here, these pieces, and as you can see, there's a little hole in the center. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting stickers inside those. There we go. Alright, close enough. There's one. And then I'm going to take this one right here and do the same thing right here, sticking two parts down like this. And two. Make sure that hole is pretty open and free. Perfect. And I only use 2 stickers, although they do usually give you extras of things. Maybe that's so if you ruin a set, you still got a set to go. I don't know. Having stickers on them, I'm going to grab an arm piece that I haven't finished for a while. The hard thing about this is because now we have completed one arm. I mean, pretty much fully completed it. Ooh, look how it is so awesome. It feels, it's so well done. I mean, I really am impressed with this thing. And it's, yeah, so smooth. But I'm gonna need to do the same thing on the opposite side. So I'm needing this part that we started to build. We're gonna bring that over here. And I'm also gonna take these 2 parts now. And starting with, I believe, this one, I'm gonna be hooking that on. I need to actually, ooh, there he wants to grab it. I need to actually screw it onto here. So sticking this like that, I'm going to be putting a screw through there. I got the parts I need to do this. I don't see anything in the magazine that mentions that I should switch the screwdriver, which is good because honestly, I still like this one. This one's pretty great. I still use my Robco screwdriver probably more, but still. Alright, I did that. That's done. Oh, and then I'm bringing in this piece that we just put together right here, the ball joint. And we're going to be putting that on this side of things, just like that. And so then, when we have done that, we've got that little thing right here that I was wondering what we're going to do with. And apparently, I'm going to kind of stick this through the hole, like so, like that. And then I'm going to take these parts, stick them like that. There, that kind of holds that in place for a second. And then we're going to put some screws into those holes right there. So, it can sound like it or look like it at times. Okay, so we've got those parts all together. I'm guessing we're just putting on the other side. And the big reveal is yes, that is what we're doing. So now I'm going to take this part right here, clamp it on, just like so. And now we're going to be sticking... we didn't put on the gold piece. They don't have a gold piece for this yet. Interesting. I would have thought that we'd do that first, but whatever. Okay, so screwing that together too. Oh, I accidentally grabbed the wrong screwdriver, but might as well use the black one now that I've got it. Okay. There we go. That's that. So now we've got our arm and my shoulder here piece, which can go out like this even. All those points of articulation. Look how smooth that is. Once again, it's still, just love it. I can move it in little fragments and it still holds its shape and its form perfectly. So, okay. Done with that arm. Moving on to number 13 now. Oh, here's the gold piece. So, opening up this package at this point. And I also like that they keep the screws contained for the most part on this one. Oh, there's another spring. Watch out for that. And a rod. That are kind of easy to lose. Alright, first thing they're having me do is bring back that arm and go ahead and just stick it on. That's all it's doing is just sticking on. It does. Kind of surprised it didn't, with all the effort with the other ones. Although, yeah, when it snaps in, it definitely snaps in. Alright, so there's that. And so it looks pretty good. Now we're going to be taking this piece right here, which is going to be going onto this part right here. And let's see here. So basically, I need to take this little rod right here, and I need to stick it through here while the spring is in the center. And that spring needs to be facing the right direction so that it's latched. So I can't take it off and then stick the thing through first, naturally. Till it latches here. Everything else is looking good. I just gotta get through the second latch is all that I'm needing here. Oh, there it goes. And slip. All right. So now when I pull on this, it should snap back into place like that. Is that it? We're just leaving it like that? There's nothing to hold it on yet? Maybe it's on the next page. Nope. It's not. Not yet. Oh, I see though, the next parts that are coming out. So we're moving on to volume 14 here. And in volume 14, which are these parts over here. This one does have the screws separate from the box, but I do have some small parts we want to keep track of, and some big parts I want to keep track of. and a part that I almost already lost. There we go. All right, so I remember last time that this took me a long time because I couldn't figure out how to do it right. And now it's been long enough. This is the downside to not being able to do this just back to back, like doing it the last time that we put together this shoulder piece right here. This is what we're trying to do right now, is that now I've forgotten the trick. There was a trick I figured out, and now I'm gonna have to figure it out again. So, I'm trying to follow my instructions as exactly as I can. Basically, the way that this works is we're gonna be putting these pieces together like this, okay? These two pieces. And, but, in between, we're gonna be sticking these little parts. Oh, wait. Is this one easier than last time? Might be easier than I remembered it. So you just stick these little parts right here. These little pegs that are like this. See, these little pegs. And you're sticking it into here. Oh, they are slotted too. Most of the hole here is slotted right there, and then these are slotted, so I'm gonna make sure that they're lined up as I stick them on. This is something else I like about the Iron Man build that I don't like about the R2-D2 build, is that the parts are actually numbered. So as you take out screws and things, you know which screws they're referring to, which is nice. But at any rate, so we're going to be connecting that using a GM screw in this case. Whoops. I'm doing one side first. That way when I go to do the other, it's not like I'm trying to keep all the parts held together. So there's one, and sliding it through here once again, and putting another GM screw down in there, and using whichever screwdriver you want to at this point. Okay. Yep. Okay. Did that. Now we're going to be sticking on these little parts right here that are just going to be going on the outside. I also like the fact that if I was doing the R2-D2 build, this is when they would be saying, oh, put some glue in there. Nope, no glue needed. Just me taking that and just popping it right in there and clicking it in place. All right, next we're gonna attach it now finally to this part. It looks like it's this piece right here, the part that kind of ratchets out. It's gonna be hooking onto the inside of this, just like so. Just goes like that. There we go. Okay, so open that up. Look at that. We got our shoulder going on. Yeah, the shoulders on this, that is a brilliant idea. So it still slides up and down, or can, but look at how much of an angle you can put your arms at. Try that with some of my other Iron Man. Doesn't work that way. Just doesn't work that way. So, at any rate, next, it's actually attaching the hand. Last time, it didn't let me do that. So strange. Okay. Since we haven't done that before, I'm gonna go ahead and attach both the hands. So both arms, both hands. Man, you really have to push to get that on there, but sure enough, there's one arm complete, right? And arm two, same thing, pressing on that hand. Boy, it feels dangerous to do this, but now with that, we are done with that box, and on to our 2 10 boxes. So it looks like this time we're actually going to be getting into doing something with the foot, which we only have one foot so far, and part, I think, of a leg. But at any rate, so starting off, I'm going to be taking this box, or bag. Again, it looks like the screws are separate on this one. Don't lose them. Yeah, then we got these screws. So, we got some little red pegs and pieces here. And I've got this, and I got my bag of screws, and we're going to start off with this piece right here, as well as one of these pieces right here. And I'm going to just take that and slot it so that it fits, kind of like that. Whoops, kind of like that it's supposed to be. And then carefully holding the washers in place. Oh, do I need them on both sides? Nope, I do. I have to put them on both sides. Okay. This one's a little easier because at least it fit into a hole. This one I'm just kind of holding loosely on the outside like this, I guess. Trying to hold them in place. It says carefully holding them. I'm going to be taking the foot, which is right here. It does recommend taking off my little plastic cover here first. And I'm going to be trying to stick these down in here, this direction, like this. And trying to keep those washers lined up. And then we're going to take this peg right here and stick it through. If you've done it right, you'll know that it worked. Oh, look at that. Okay, so it's like that. And then you're sticking this. Just like that. Yep. And then we're going to put a screw. We're going to screw that screw right on through here. I have learned to do this nice and tight. Even if it feels like it's next to impossible to move, because of the weight of this figure, there's some parts I've already had to go back on and redo instead of the arms because I thought I left them too loose. And I didn't want to, so anyway. So there, now we have this joint piece from the leg. It says I can put this part back on too, like that. All right, and that is that for that magazine. Bringing up 36 now. The other thing that's set up differently in this magazine versus the other one is in R2-D2, it's always at the very end of the whole thing that you have the directions. This one kind of sticks it in between the information. So the idea being that you'd read a little bit, then you put something together, then you read a little bit more. I kind of like that idea. That sounds like a good idea. Anyway, so now we're taking out just two really basic pieces, really, right here. And, okay, so we got 1, 2, 3 actually pieces. First thing that I'm going to be doing is I take this piece and we just stick this piece just like this right into there, chink, like that. Nice. And then it'd be funny if that was it. That's the whole step to that one. Now in volume 37, my guess is we're going to put that onto the leg now. Oh, we're taking out some more defining pieces right here. Nice thing about molding pieces separately that have a different color is it looks much more realistic and clean. All right, so we're bringing back from box 9 this piece right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece right here and just stick it right onto there and clip it on just like that, which is pretty awesome. And then that leaves us these two parts over here. And when I turn the page, it does nothing. That magazine was literally just sticking on one part, clipping it on. So which brings me to our final magazine, which is right here, and our final bag for the day. More black screws right there that I'm going to put on. It's like they are two different lengths. And 4 little pieces here. And what we do is I'm going to be taking this new piece right here, and this piece right here, and I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to be hooking them together. See, there's these little pieces right here. Those are going to hook together right underneath there. This one has 3 screws, which means we'll be using 2, which go into these 2 holes. And then I'm going to be taking this piece right here, turning the assembly on, and it goes like this. It is shaped, by the way, to fit perfectly onto this in only one way. So we stick that like that and pop it on like so. And then we're going to bring over this part right here. Same thing. Got it, can only go in one direction. Stick that one on, just like, oops, just like so. And then, oh good, I thought it was gonna be the end. All right, now we're bringing this piece back as well. We're taking it, we're putting it on this one right here, and specifically, it's gonna be hooking with this. This piece goes like up that, okay, right here, just like this, and nice and tight. Because these are plastic pieces, I'm going to try not to go too far, but there we go. Yeah, that works. Okay, so I got my knee on there, and then that means we now have these two different parts. Is this eventually going to go over here? I mean, I know I shouldn't be jumping ahead, but honestly, obviously, it's going to go like this, right? But the reason why we're not doing that now is because he needs whatever's going to go in here has to be able to be secured in there. So the rest of these parts we're kind of keeping loose because that is the end of issue 38. Like I said though, I have a lot of boxes and I have taken a little peek, so I know some things that are coming up. More gifts, just random things to watch for, which isn't that big of a deal compared to pretty soon, very soon, we're going to be assembling our base. The base he's going to be standing on, which looks like this big gantry, and lights up and things like that. In fact, there's going to be a whole set of separate instructions for putting that together, and also big important pieces to the body. They're going to be kind of intricate and cool looking. So stay tuned for that. Want to thank Fanhome for providing us with this model to be able to review, but they also gave us a promo code. So if you're interested in purchasing this, use the code Tony Stark. Also, I'll continue to review these as they come out. So if you can't get it, you can also experience this by proxy. Remember to like, subscribe, comment below, keep watching. This is your Geek Fix.